Hello again. Well, I just thought I'd show you how I do what I would call something like poor man's overmilling. Now, you see, I don't have a mill, or I don't even have a pillar drill actually. And so if you want to do some overmilling, I mean, I do it by hand, and this is how I do it. Well, first of all, I've tapped these, but you don't have to tap it. You know, it's just that I have. I don't know whether you can see that. I'll bring that up a bit. Perhaps I get some light going on here. It'd be a bit better, mightn't it? There you go. You can see that I've tapped those, and I have actually overmilled it in my way, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now then, have I got all the things here? Yeah. So what? First of all, they're tapped, and then I get an ordinary. Now these holes, very important that you know the size of your hole, are 3mm. And this is 3.4, and it's an ordinary drill. Okay, it's just a straightforward ordinary drill. I mean, I've got it in this sort of, this thing here, a few years old that, but it sort of actually works really well. And what you do is you don't push it in hard. Okay, this is very important. You just gently put it in, and you roll it round each hole. Okay, just gently roll it round in each hole, trying to hold this as square. You've got to hold this firmly, hold it square, and just gently roll it around. And I'm doing it as I would actually do it in real life. You see, that was catching a little bit there. Interesting. So just go like that. This is real life stuff, but I have already done it. So it's catching there. Hang on, guys. Was number 2, I think, wasn't it? There we go. There's a little bit of something there, and I've only run it through once, so, and then you do that one as well. Again, that was catching slightly. Hold it as square as you can. Gentle turn. There you go. There's a bit of metal off it. Right, so that's that one, and then the next thing you do is you take another drill, exactly the same size, 3.4. But what I've done with this one is I've squared off the end. So the other one had a pointy tip. I get that together. Whoop. I can do that. One's pointy like an ordinary drill, and then the other one's been flattened off on the grinder. You want that as flat as you can possibly get. I mean, you want it square. Okay. And now this won't. You can push this in a little bit harder, but it won't go down quite as easily as that one will. But you still don't want to over push it. If you over push it, you can get yourself into trouble. And then you just literally you pop it back in your hole, and you go like this. And what you're doing here, again, you want to try and keep it as square as you can. Go around a few times. What you're doing there is you're squaring off the bottom. And what you're number 3. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, that one. No, you're squaring off the bottom a little bit, and when you square off the bottom, that's what catches the key pin and opens up the hole to make the driver pin flop about a little bit. Actually, I didn't do this top one properly. Right, so you've done that, and then after you've done that, you'll notice. I also, another thing. Can you see that? Come on, focusy. Right, and so the next thing you need to do is there's a on the top here, there's a little lip around here that's lifted up. Now that's been lifted up by me cutting these threads in here. It's lifted this up, and you've got this little rim over the top here. So that has to be filed off very, very gently. You could do it with a big drill, but in this case I'm definitely not going to do that. I don't want to put any sort of chamfering on the top. I want it square, so I've got to be very careful how I do that. But the next thing you do in this case, because you will have created burrs in here, I then run the gently, you can see that, gently run this. I've twisted that up a bit, I think. There we go. Don't cross thread it. And then you just run this through again, on all of them. Obviously I'm going to do that on all of them. You run it through again, to take off the burrs that you will have created by doing the overmilling, the poor man's overmilling, that little bit of extra wide hole at the top. But it's a square hole. I mean, this is the thing. It's not. There's no softness to that hole, or there shouldn't be. Now I've run this tap, which is suitable for the 3mm hole. Obviously, I've run it through here now about 4 times. This is the 5th time, I think. Yeah, it's the 5th time. It's the last time, really. Forwards is cutting, backwards is clearing, and you still need to do that a little bit as you go through. Obviously, it's. I'm not going to actually do the top of the hole. By doing this, you're just making sure that those the sort of the hole is clear. I don't know how you describe that. It's just that everything is sort of smooth and neat and everything. This one's a funny one. Hang on a second. Don't cross thread it. It's easily done. That's catching there. Because it's been through so many times, and I've just done this little bit, it's you can see that it catches it a little bit, so you have to keep doing this. So you do that, and then there's a final thing. 5 times I've been through this because I want my threading to be sort of superb. And then as a final thing, this is a 3mm drill, and it's exactly the same size as the pins. So you want the pins to be able to go in and out. So you can see I've been doing it with the tap, it's still picked it up slightly. If I can go like that, you can see I can feel that that's catching on there. So I just twist that through. And this is done extremely lightly. You don't want to sort of, again, 5 times, and this is my 5th time with this now. There's no lubrication in here. If you lubricate it, which is what you should be doing if you're cutting threads, because it gets a sharper thread, a nicer thread, all the swarf, or whatever you want to call it, the little filings that you're making, they get caught up in here and they're much more difficult to clean out. So don't do that. It's this thing here is a hardened steel. Obviously it's a good quality bit of steel. You can tap a piece of steel with this. This is soft. This is like butter for that. So it sort of goes through very easily and it's no problem. So there we go. And that's it. So the next job is just for me is just to take off this little raised edge, which you might be able to see, but there we go. That's I don't know whether I can get that looking good. That's sort of okay, but you can see the raised edge there, can't you? And that's all now got to be flattened off, so it it runs smoothly in the chamber of the lock. So there we go, guys. That's how I do my overmilling, poor man's overmilling. It's not difficult and works quite well. See you around, guys.